We've seen housewives, bachelors and bachelorettes, singing idols and dancing stars, and even Kendra and the Kardashians. But soon we'll get to watch seniors from our area doing extreme sports and other cool activities on Senior Xtremers, a new reality TV show currently being filmed throughout North Florida and South Alabama. Here to tell us about the show and what they're looking for is executive producer Mike Cotton. Mike, thank you for being here.
Than's for having me.
Well, this is just a great concept. Tell us about the premise of Senior Xtremers and how it's being pitched and just what it is.
Okay. Basically, the show will feature generally folks 55 and up that are doing not just extreme sports, but it could be anything that's interesting and cool. I mean, we're looking at bringing on somebody like Bobby Rush, who is a rhythm and blues musician and performer. He's in his 70s, and he's still out there just like he's 20 years old doing his thing.
Well, where did the idea for the show come from?
Actually, we were planning to do another show. I had gone through some severe health problems over the last year and a half, and right before that all happened, I had talked to my partner, who's the partner on this as well, my director and co-producer, Rick Simpson from RS3 Productions, and we were going to do a pilot on a lot of people around here know me as Enviroman from the pest control and the environmental industry, and I still do a lot of that with students and so forth, but we were going to do a show kind of like a Ripley's Believe It or Not modern version. But some of my friends around the country, when I started pitching this show, said, you know, you're a lifelong surfer. You're still at it, no matter what kind of problems you've had health-wise. You've hung in there. Why don't you do a show about people like yourself that are getting up into retirement age and the baby boomers that are still doing some pretty serious sports and things like that? So we got to thinking about it, and I said, Rick, you know, let's write a new treatment on this. Let's just send it out and see what happens. And we sent it out to folks from the local community and the entertainment and the film, the television industry, right up to the big major cable outlets that everybody knows. And so far, the response has been pretty staggering, actually. So we've gotten busy, and we're lining up guests and sponsors, and we're out there shooting, weather permitting, on outdoor shoots, and pretty exciting. So we're underway. And,
well, great. Well, organizations like ours, and just like you mentioned,
and I do want to say you have a great organization. I've followed your organization. I've followed you, and you do a lot for the community. And
well, thank you very much.
And it does make a difference.
Thank you very much. Well, we're all adjusting to the baby boomers and stuff. And so what do you think this show says about the new profile of seniors?
Well, I turned 62 in October, and my son called me to wish me a happy birthday. He's 39. He says, Dad, don't worry about it. He says, you know, you're not getting older. And he says, in fact, in this day and age, he says, you know, 62 is the new 61 and a half. So I feel pretty good. Of course, I'm going to get back at him when he turns 40.
Just tell him thank you very much. Right?
Exactly. But yes, it's pretty amazing. And I have a lot of personal friends. I have a friend that's a world-class fly fisherman. But I have another friend that's 63. He goes to Indonesia every year and rides these killer waves that I probably wouldn't have gotten on at any point in my life. And he's
well,
still
we've got a couple of photos to pull up. One, I believe, was a gentleman who jumps out of airplanes. And tell us a little bit about him.
Absolutely. In fact, you had told us about this guy. We found a guy named Don Cripps who lives here in Pensacola, and he has over 3,100 jumps. Holds 2 world records, and we were out Saturday in Alberta at the jump site, and we filmed his 3,112th jump. We had another photographer come down with a helmet cam and a steady cam, and Don is just, you know, if you start feeling like you're getting old and you can't do anything, you want to probably go to our site and watch footage of Don Cripps, because he's very inspiring.
And radio personality Marty White, I understand.
Marty White, he just joined the club. He just hit 55, and a lot of people don't know Marty, who is a very popular DJ through the region, is also a stock car driver, and his division, he's one of the top guys in his division. So,
and I understand it's not just about males either. I believe there was a female surfer. Is that correct?
We just finished a segment about a week ago on Lisa Muir. She now lives in Navarre, Florida. She's 56 and been competing worldwide for about 40 years. And Lisa's not she's not kind of like the Kelly Slater of the sport, but everybody knows Lisa, and she's a fabulous surfer, but she also does a lot of community outreach. She works with a lot of young ladies that want to surf and stay out of trouble. So it was very, very exciting, and she lives here in our community.
Great, great. Well, you also, we have one more picture, I believe, a gentleman with the surfboard.
Okay, we're going to do a segment on our shows called Gone But Not Forgotten. And we have been fortunate enough to work with a filmmaker out of San Francisco, David L. Brown. He's done a lot of documentaries for PBS. And he has 2 movies out that came out in the last 8 years. One is Surfing for Life, which follows about a half a dozen folks that are getting older and having to deal with not being able to ride the big waves in Hawaii or whatever. And he actually, his co-producer is a social worker, which is interesting because my wife is a social worker. In fact, she instructs out here at the UWF. So we're going to do a feature on a guy that stole that movie, and they made another one about him. His name is Woody Brown, and unfortunately Woody passed away in '08 at 96, and Woody surfed until he was 93 in Hawaii, and also held the world gliding record for about 30 years. Also developed the original catamaran, which went on to become the Hobie Cat.
Right. Well, tell us, you know, some of our viewers may be potential senior extremers, or they may have a friend or neighbor. What are you specifically you're looking for, and how can they reach you?
Well, we'll take a look at anybody, but we have to find somebody that's doing something that is exciting. And again, it doesn't have to be a sport. It could be music or something like that. You know, it could be a wild guy that does beekeeping, you know, that's interesting. But we've got a lot of people that do a lot of different sports, from kiteboarding to skiing to snowboarding, race cars, musicians, older musicians that are still out there. I was a touring musician for many years, and I don't know that I could go out there and do that again.
I'm sure there's a lot of runners, a lot of marathon participants.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. We have upcoming, we have one fellow by the name of Dutch. He's getting ready to leave Santa Monica and walk across the country to raise awareness and money for children with special needs. We have another group getting ready to go on their stand-up paddle boards from Key West to Maine to raise money and awareness for the Wounded Warrior Project. So super interesting people. But we're after Bubba Bechtel, who is a treasure from the coast here.
Right.
And he's reignited his career. He's one of the hottest comedians coming out of Nashville right now. And but he rides a Harley, and just a great guy and funny.
Now, what kind of time window are you in as far as taping what you're doing right now?
Well, we're doing ongoing taping through the region. We're moving about through, I'd say, from Mobile to Panama City. We hope to go really national with the show. We are looking at resorts that are willing to bring us in to use their resort as a backdrop.
That's right.
So we're trying at this point, our goal is this month to get 4 half-hour shows completed. We have an opportunity as of yesterday to go on a cable system that provides service to 250,000 subscribers in this region, plus 24/7 on demand, and also stream the show live. We also are using a lot of archive footage from guys like David L. Brown. So we'll be interspersing that with a lot of the current interviews and the action shots as well.
Well, great. Well, I think you'll have a lot of support from the community. That you're right. There are a lot of people, older people, doing some really cool stuff.
There really is.
And it's a great premise, very much in line with the new 60 or 61, as your son was telling you, and we just appreciate what you're doing.
As we like to say over at Senior Xtremers, we ain't done yet.
That's right. Well, Mike, thank you very, very much. I hope you get some calls. Hope we can get you some more people, and maybe you can come back and share more secrets about when and where we're going to actually see
Absolutely. We invite everybody to go to our Facebook page right now. We're working on a website, but you can go to Facebook. Just Senior Xtremers has to be a member, and we have daily updates on there as far as what's going on.
Great. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.